Yeah, New England, and it's Ottoman versus French, which is probably an even matchup, but a good matchup for you to
Mm.
cast actually, seeing as you play Ottoman quite a lot.
Yeah, but I would say this is really good for Ottomans and this map. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe Hazza has something in mind, but honestly, I think Kaiserklein will win this matchup with this game. Like, yeah, I don't know. When you have 4 TP like that, plus the pond is also quite good for Ottomans because they can easily ship some boats actually. Like they often age up to H3 with one boat for one thing on this map, so that's really good here.
Yeah, the 400 wood and galley age up, right? Another thing to note as well is that the Abbas guns for the Ottoman player, obviously incredible versus boats compared to normal skirmishers or whatever. So yeah, as you said, maybe a good map for Ottoman. But did you see what start it was? It was
No, I was checking the hands,
so it
which are
was.
for once fair
Yeah,
on
I
this
mean
map.
this map is particularly bad compared to other EP maps. The coin seems.
I think it's okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fine as well. That one coin has spawned on the island as well, which is what differs from New England. But Kaiser's going to put his training post up on the top left here, which is I think slightly slower, but it is safer. Um,
Yeah, and the reason is also that you can scout the treasures on the ships that are here. Meanwhile, when you go to these trading posts, so yeah, that's a good reason. But if you want to use the fastest XP, you should go for this one actually.
yeah, this one in the middle, but obviously it is quite susceptible to sort of a boat in that pond and taking it down quickly. But saying that, Kaiser might lose his explorer here, which he doesn't really want to happen.
Yeah.
And Hazard's using that Kickapoo scout really well to block. It doesn't snare on EP, obviously, because that's been changed from RE, but the Explorer itself does snare, and if you can get it in front and get a couple of shots off from that 5 damage, Explorer's going to go down, and that's not very good at all for
Yeah.
Ottoman, is it?
No, really not, because you really want to take more TP usually. But that's something Haza like does all the time. Like I've played a lot of Ottomans versus his Spain, for instance, and he would always kill my Explorer when I try to take a TP because he has the dog. And so here it's a bit the same with French.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, well, I think he will still die, but Kaiser made a good move with the ships to try go further. And he's almost at his TC,
Yeah,
so
he's
at
going
least
to go down.
he will easily revive. Plus, he brought the ship under his TC, so that's quite
Yeah,
good.
so he kept those sheep, and because he was doing so well with that microing, the Hazard's Explorer had to take him down so much further away. And also, I mean, the Explorer is right next to the TC, as you said. But something bigger than that, really, is that Hazard's Explorer wasn't able to pick up these 90 coin treasures and go and get that Iroquois treasure earlier, which is probably what he wanted to do. Um, so, yeah,
Yeah,
basically a really good age one for Hazard, I think. But not
yeah,
a bad age one for Kaiser, simply because he was able to micro that sheep.
yeah. But at least he still aged up quite early. I'm not entirely sure. I think he will be up before like something 3 minute 50, which is quite good on this start. And he's building a mosque. I think he would prefer to build more trading post, but since he doesn't have Sea Explorer, like the mosque is
Yeah,
already a good
the
thing.
the mosque is actually more efficient than a trading post, isn't it? For how
Yeah,
much it costs. But obviously, you want to build a trading post normally.
and he's also getting the first upgrade in the mosque for his settler.
Yeah, Abbasid
Yeah.
market, I think. Yeah, millet system.
Oh, and two are moving forward. Yeah.
Yes, but he's also getting quite a lot of coin here. Normally, you'd take 100 coin, wouldn't you, as Ottoman? But he's going with a quartermaster. Not 100 coin.
Um.
He's going with a
No.
quartermaster, which is wood, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
tower, so
It's
this isn't a normal FF.
No,
And
because Kaiserklein doesn't like to FF a lot. He usually does a lot of Jan Abus, especially when there is a good stagecoach, and because he's really good at microing his Abus, so usually he just controls the stagecoach and control everything with Janissaries and Abus. So he will do that for sure here.
yeah, and Hazard's going to pick up the trading post at the top, which is sort of to be expected as France. But yeah, as that barracks goes down, Hazard needs to obviously defend against it. He does have the 2 caravel shipment, but I highly doubt he's going to send that as a first shipment. It would be quite effective if he did, though, actually. That barracks would go down almost certainly from that far. He does get it spotted
Uh,
with a Kickapoo Scout. I think caravels have 20 range. I think that's roughly 20 range from that water now.
I'm not sure that will be enough. Do you mean from the pond or from the?
From the pond, not from the other side. Although I
I
think
don't think that's
it's
enough range, but yeah,
maybe not.
global was. But it's risky if you are not sure. I think you don't send it because
Well, yeah,
otherwise you're.
obviously you want to send 4 CDB, don't you, as your first card, and
Yeah.
Hazard's going to be putting down a barracks and base, which is against the barracks slot, as you saw, is a strong. You don't want to go for a stable because obviously Janissaries are musketeers. And by the looks of it, Kaiser's going to get the next 2 trading posts quite easily.
Yeah, actually, I think Hazza wanted to take this trading post as well. I'm not sure, but he had the wood and he was close to the trading post. But then Kaiser built it when Hazza was at 180 wood, so I don't know. But maybe he was just here to kill the explorer. I'm not sure.
Is that Explorer going to go down? No, he's going to go down now, but he
Yeah.
thankfully got that up just beforehand. And a couple of Janissaries are in Hazard's base. I don't think Hazard's lost anything. No, he hasn't lost any units by the looks of it. But he
Yeah.
obviously those CDB are decent against the Janissaries anyway. And yeah, a couple of crossbow now coming out, and an artillery foundry coming down for
Oh,
Kaiser.
okay. There's more chance. Because I was a bit worried because the explorer was snaring the Jans and there was the crossbows behind, but then there was another batch of Jans, so yeah, it's enough to deal with this crossbowman. Actually, I wanted to say, I think the reason why Kaiser pressured the base of Hazza was just to get some scouting information, because now he knew really early that there was a barrack, because otherwise I think he knew that 5 Jans wouldn't kill a CDB, and now he will
Yeah.
just for the TP of Hazza, I think, or maybe he want to stay a bit to protect his barracks.
Yeah, so basically just getting a bit of scouting, as you said, and that really helps with that artillery foundry as well. Now he knows that there's not going to be a huge amount of husk coming out first, and so it doesn't warrant a huge, a massive amount of Janissaries. Oh, 3 hussars coming in. That's an interesting shipment, and only two Abascuns coming out as a sort of extra to that. Which, to be honest, the number of crossbows with Minutemen or with a batch of 5 Huss coming out from that, or even batch of 3 Huss coming out from that stable is probably going to be fine for Hazza here. And an Abascun going down, another one going down. Yeah, that's really nice for Hazza.
But still, he's a bit in trouble to defend against this Huss, because yeah, that's a better composition for Kaiser.
Yeah, and he is fighting with the CDBs. There's the Minutemen do come out, which you don't want to be fighting next to the Minutemen, but he's going to take some extra damage from them. And these CDBs are taking a lot of damage, actually, and he hasn't lost one yet. He's lost a single one, and by the looks of it, he's probably going to lose a second one. He's not.
Oh,
But
maybe not.
honestly, that's really well held for Hazza, and I think that's pretty big, actually. That's pretty deciding, that. Because of the customer mass he has now, and there's only 3 Abus, which Abus do slightly outrange crossbow, but they do have a bit of a wonky animation, so they will go down, even if they do trade slightly better than the crossbowmen there. And
yeah, I think actually there was a bit of problem because Kaiser was a bit mismacroed. I mean, I think he had no house when the 2 Abus popped in the first batch, because he had some resources in bank, but he forgot to build his house, or I don't know. So he only had a batch of 2, and that was big. Then the patch didn't really work. And now he still has no stagecoach. I believe he's doing it now, but it wasn't here for so far. So Hazza has kind of a big military advantage now, and yeah, maybe he will be able to use it. We will see.
yeah, he does have quite a big military advantage, you said. And there's a couple of musketeers he's now switching into. He's also going to pick up. Actually, that bear cub is really good, actually, against the one which is green buffed here. Oh, it's not the one I thought it was. There's a grizzly bear, which is like a hussar, but that's still decent to pick up. He might lose a trading post here, but he is pushing a couple of musketeers, which I don't entirely like. As those Abas
He's
in there.
aging up, actually.
Oh, Hazard's aging up, is he? Yeah, he's going to send 7. He's just send it, yeah.
So, yeah, I think he wanted to raid a bit with the musketeers, but yeah, that's not so useful, because at this point you are quite unlikely to do anything with raging against Ottomans, because obviously they are still in base. They don't use the resources very fast, so yeah, there won't be any exposed settler for Kaiser.
Yeah, and at the same time, Kaiser's now getting out that trading post line, which is what what you need as Ottoman. Really says boast your economy because your economy is so weak otherwise. It actually isn't that. When you account for training personnel, they're probably about equal, maybe slightly in favour of Kaiser and Eco. But
yeah, that's close, yeah.
But yeah, Hazard's not in a bad spot. He does have a decent amount of hunting base. He is slightly iffy with mines. If he gets pushed on that top mine, it might be in a bit of trouble. But thankfully for him, he does have the army sort of to repel any force that Kaiser might put on him. Hazard just went up with a normal age up, didn't he? The fast age up, I believe. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, it's the fast stage up, but I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. That's still a close game, I think, because the thing is that the units Hazard has no. They are not gonna get upgraded to veteran. None of them probably. So yeah, that's not that a very good army for to have now. Oh, and Kaiser is pushing now. Yeah, I'm not sure he will be able to do much here actually. Because when Hazard will have a shipment, did he send something? Do you know?
Well, he's only just got a shipment, so he hasn't. I believe he's probably just sent something now, yeah, because he hasn't directly queued it. And knowing Hazard, he would be astute enough to queue it as soon as it came in. And yeah, as you said, this isn't really a great push from Kaiser here, especially seeing as two of those Abbas guns are now low HP. There's only 2 Hussars, and Hazard sort of knows that there's not going to be any more Hussars, I believe. He's now getting Veteran Musketeer, and I don't think it'd be too bad for him to get Veteran Crossbowman. It's a rather cheap upgrade, and they get, I think 18 damage and 120 HP, so it's not a bad upgrade to get. But yeah, 2 Falconettes or something comes out now, doesn't it? And then it decimates his army, even with the Abbas guns in there.
But Kaiserklein is also aging up actually with the fast age up, so he will be up very soon and probably be able to ship 2 Falcons of his own, or even make some, or yeah, with the Abyss guns to help, he can quite easily win the Falk battle. Okay, it's laggy now.
It's odd because it wasn't lagging when we tested it.
Are you ready? Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully it's fine.
Maybe the weather still for Hazard.
Yeah, maybe it's Hazard's internet. I don't know. Normally both of these players are fine. I know maybe Kaiser had some problems yesterday with Gastet and Soldier, but it's not.
Oh, yeah.
It's not common.
But he was casting also.
He was casting as well, yeah. So that obviously makes a bit more of a strain on your computer. I haven't dropped any frames or anything, but that doesn't really matter at this point. We do have a push from Hazard. That barracks, I think, is probably going to go down for Kaiser, and he does have a couple of units in queue, I believe, in there. Yeah, a single janitor, unless he's got a second barracks. No, he doesn't. Yeah, I mean, Hazard can go for sort of dragoon mass now, can't he? Because of how good those dragoons are versus Ottoman.
Definitely. And yeah, he managed to kill the FB without Kaiser upgrading any of his units, which is a bit of a problem because now he needs to rebuild both the foundry and the racks and then wait for the upgrade. And meanwhile, it gives time to Hazard to take back the TP line.
Yeah, which is really Ottoman's eco now. There's 2 Falconettes coming in, but as you said, he can't really push too easily. And to be honest, those Dragoons are pretty dangerous to those 2 Falconettes if he catches them off guard. Thankfully for Kaiser, he does sort of dodge to those cannonballs. They don't really do a huge amount of damage. There is Veteran Abbas coming in, which is, I believe, 20 range or 19 range or something.
Oh, this Falk is dead.
Yeah, that's not great.
That's huge. That's huge. No, I don't know. Hazard kind of has to go back. So
yeah, Hazard has to go. Although he's now lost a second Falk, which really isn't very good. He doesn't have anything to contest that, and unfortunately for Hazard, he can't make any more Falks. And I mean, Kaiser can, but he's talking about the Falconets backing up. But Kaiser can make more Falconets if he wants to. I don't believe he will. He'll just make Abbas even. But this is a lot of cuirassiers, though. Or cuirassiers, or however you say it. 7 of those, and with that amount of dragoons and the infantry mass, this is quite a big push. Especially if no veteran Abbas.
Fight. Yeah, if he just goes in, I think he will destroy that.
Yeah, because obviously Janissaries aren't the best against cuirassiers.
Although he's to fight.
Yeah, he's just taking extra damage he doesn't need to here.
Okay, so it's not working that well for Hazard, in fact. It's working terrible.
Yeah, and all those crusaders are now down, and the ones that are left are sort of 5 or 6 HP. That was definitely not a very good fight for Hazza in the slightest, and he's now having to mass up some skirmishers, but those two falconets...
Yeah, at this point, it's, I don't know, it will be tough for Hazza. Like, he missed 2 occasions, and yeah, no, he resigns.
Yeah, he did run out of hunts, but they were fair. There was this hunt on the front, which maybe he didn't see, but yeah, it's slightly unfortunate.
Did he complain about the hunts?
He said there wasn't that many, but I think it's because New England has...
I think it's still fair, like, we are not re-hosting, it's just a normal map here. Yeah, and they are also moving a lot, but
yeah, they move around on their own because they're those deer, aren't they? Those I think they're called deer, pronghorns or something like that. I'm gonna change down my settings slightly to see if it helps.
Okay.
But I doubt it will, as normally I don't cause any problems. But I'll see how much it helps anyway.
Okay, so yeah, and next game will be played on Bonnie Spring, so that's another controversial map at the moment.
Yeah, I think it was actually Hazza saying last time he was he played against Turk, was it? I believe that his hunt got stuck behind a wall. As obviously Bonnie Springs has walls which are naturally forming. They're just there on the map, and unfortunately some of his stuff got stuck behind it, some of the hunts, and he wasn't able to have his third hunt, and that maybe have swung the game. I don't know. But
yeah, that's anyway frustrating to have this kind of elements interfering, especially for such an important series.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of money on the line in this series, isn't there? I can't quite remember what the first place is for the tournament, but it is a decent amount.
Yeah, I know it's overall 3K, but I don't know the details.
Do you have the map pool?
Oh yeah.
So Bonnie Springs, Arizona, Florida, Arkansas. So yeah, once you get past Bonnie Springs, you get down to the maps which are maybe more standard, especially stuff like Arizona, Florida, Arkansas, and Colorado. Maybe not Colorado, that's a bit of an interesting map as well. But those last couple of maps are very, very standard. So maybe we'll see Kaiser playing something like Germany on one of those maps or whatever. But Bonnie Springs is a map which is relatively small. You have that.
Yeah, but still, I think Germany is a strong pick on Bonnie Spring. Oh, but he elects for Russia, which is very solid overall, and it's good.
Ottoman.
Not so many hunts, but yeah, Hazza goes for a strong counter with Ottomans.
Yeah, this matchup is pretty hard to lose as Ottoman, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I know that I play this matchup a lot against Hazza, but as Ottoman, and I still lose, but every time it goes the same way. I'm crushing him early on, and then he starts multitasking me, and eventually I lose. But otherwise, with equal skill, normally Ottomans win quite easily.
Yeah, because you can just FF, right? And like, what can Russia ever do against?
Yeah, the plan I go for, which works quite well, is to tower FF with tower in base. And then there is 2 options. If Russia tries to do something aggressive, I just fight in H3, and it's safe enough with the tower FF. It's fast, and you are fine to fight against that. So you win just with normal plan. And if Russia tries something else, like going H3, I just go H4 and revolt, and Russia is just not fast enough to do anything against that.
Well, yeah, if you're sort of trying to face a revolt, Russia maybe isn't the best civilization because obviously the units you get from revolts are just insane. Yeah, we're gonna check the map for them. The hunts seem they're unfair by the looks of it.
Yeah, Kaiser has one more, right? I think it's a rehost.
Yeah, I think it maybe is a rehost. Yeah, there you go. How's this gonna? I'll even resign first. But yeah, as you can
Or
see,
maybe, wait, maybe no, it wasn't a rehost. The two pens are just together. Oh, wait.
no, because
Yeah.
look, Hazard's one is at the front here. Oh yeah, but even then, like one of Kaiser's hunt is like right next to his base, and Hazard's one isn't even in. I don't know. Maybe it's just
Yeah,
slightly confusing perspective, but
yeah, but whatever. Okay, that's better to rehost than to not when we are not sure, but I think we did a mistake here.
it's fine. It doesn't matter. It takes sort of 10-15 seconds to get back into a game, so it doesn't matter at all. I don't even know what start it was. I think it was a coin start. So to be honest,
Yeah, it was a coin start.
Yeah, I mean it's probably better for Hazza when it rehosted, but I don't think he really minds. It will be close. Actually,
Yeah,
no, maybe not
it doesn't
because
matter that much.
it doesn't
If
matter
it's a
too
good
much.
start, it's good for Hazza because he can add a mosque. Oh, yeah, but otherwise it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, I mean it would have been better for Kaiser if it was a food start as well. So to be honest, the coin start's probably the fairest one to restart on anyway.
I
But
don't know. Food start is good for both sieves, so I'm not sure.
okay, I don't know. Yeah, obviously,
Because-
obviously it is good for because you age up early as Ottoman, don't you? As you heard,
Yeah, and it
100
takes time to take the 100 more food with Ottomans when it's not here. So it speeds up the age up by quite a lot actually to have a food start as Ottomans.
Let's have a look at the hunts again, I guess. Hazza has 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay,
And Kaiser seems to have 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 4. I think they're about equal.
Yeah.
We're just in different places.
That's one more than it was before, but that's fair still.
And obviously the mines. I think you only have 1 mine in the space in your base on this map, and they seem relatively fair. Obviously, mine placements are.
The second mine is really far for Hazza, but yeah, I don't think that's a rehost.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, it's mostly the hunts, especially for Ottoman, seeing as Ottoman tend to be able to push out by that time to get a copper mine out and whatever. But yeah, it is 1-0 to Kaiser. Kaiser was playing Russia, and Hazza did counterpick of Ottoman. And do you know what the start was? I put
It was a food start.
A food start. So yeah, both good for both players. And obviously, I think this map has some quite nice treasures. There's 50 wood that Hazard's going to pick up, which is nice. Kaiser's going to pick up a couple of coin treasures in the center. There's 55 coin as well from that. Was out
a small food treasure apparently.
Yeah, and a small food treasure, which is nice to pick up. There was another coin treasure in his base, and there was also a food treasure in his base, which he'll probably pick up later. Hazard's going to come across 80 XP, which is at this point actually really nice because he's probably going to get slightly faster shipment, although saying that he's just got 1 now, so it doesn't really matter too much at 80 XP. But yeah, to be honest, I mean you should talk about the matchup really because you play with Civs.
Yeah, but I wanted to mention that it's quite interesting to see that they both do totally different scouting patterns because Hazza has decided to go for the big treasures that are on the side, so they are not that big, but like medium-sized treasures, while Kaiser decided to go straight in the middle for to taking all of the small ones. And personally, I don't know what's the best. I think I usually go for the middle ones like Hazza, but no, Kaiser is going for the other side, and Hazza has no treasure left on his side. So yeah, Kaiser will probably take more treasures in the end.
Hazza has quite an interesting deck actually. I say that he has 8 hussars in the industrial age, and he also has the I never see that card ever being in a deck. The Janissaries train cost like reduction one, which makes them incredibly efficient, but you don't normally see that. But yeah, I don't know, maybe slightly interesting deck from Hazza. But yeah, as you said, maybe he's just going to do a normal sort of FF or whatever as Ottoman here.
But that's still strange. And she also has this church card, which we don't see a lot. Yeah, but I think he might go for something in H4, I guess, with this deck. Yeah, but yeah, you have 3 Bisons, but both have, so.
The governor is the
tower FF.
Tower FF, yeah. Because
age up. But yeah, he will FF definitely if he age up with that.
Yeah, and at the same time, Kaiser's going up the quartermaster, which is what you expect. He's got two settlers on the left here going forward. They're probably going to put their blockhouse down near the trading post, I suspect, and probably just try and get down.
He wants to deny that because that's just free if you are like rushing, like he's probably doing. And I think it's good to rush because it simply doesn't work to play H3 or something slower. Just because the Ottomans can revolt and you can do nothing. But yeah, still it will be hard. It will be nice for Hazza to scout a bit. Well, okay, he's still placing the tower in base, which is safe.
So yeah, good. But you don't have to put down a tower straight away, do you? You could just scout out a little bit, maybe. I don't know. But
yeah, you have a bit of time.
You have a bit of time, and you a bit like a Oh, go ahead.
Maybe he saw the blockhouse with the TP. Maybe in line of sight, probably.
And it also gives a lot of line of sight, doesn't it? The outpost, I believe, which would be good for. It gives a decent amount. But yeah, as you said, that blockhouse is going up, and if we look at units in queue, probably 5 musketeers, right? Oh, actually, nothing in queue for Kaiser. I think Kaiser's just going to be aging. What's Kaiser doing? Strelitz instead. Which are stronger, just sitting underneath the tower and the town centre. Oh, well, with the tower, actually, they're not too great, because they basically get one shot, don't they?
Yeah, but the musketeers as well, so...
No, the musketeers don't...
still better.
The musketeers don't get one shot. They have one... Is it 135 or
yes,
125?
They have 120.
Oh, is it 120? I thought it was 135. My mistake. Yeah, so they get one shot as well.
Yeah, so that's definitely better to go for Strelitz. That's a good play, I think, what Kaiser is doing. They are both doing the good play so far. And Hazza is aging up with Hussars. So,
the scout, which is...
We expect.
Yeah, I mean, you can go up with Abbas guns, but I don't think against Russia it's like you really want to do because of that Cossack shipment. But that tower and the town centre are particularly good against the Cossacks. Especially the towers, it does 45 damage. It has a multiplier against them. So they're going down quickly, and there's one of them half HP, and because of a tower being there, these Strelitz aren't going to last too long either, although they are still efficient, and there is that 700 wood on the floor which isn't being collected. Hazza is doing a nice job of keeping his villagers alive though.
Yeah, the goal of Kaiser is just to idle Hazza, and Hazza can't place a barrack or something, no, so he just needs to wait, but ultimately it's still not that efficient because you are not killing any vills. And you can see that Kaiser is staying in the back of the base so that he doesn't get shot by the tower. Maybe the tower could have been a bit closer to the TC to prevent that.
Yeah, which is actually really good because obviously if that tower can shoot them down, the Strelitz become basically twice as bad because of the efficiency of the tower. But Hazza's going to be up in just a second, though, isn't he? And once he gets the batch of Hussars, those Strelitz obviously going down. Although, to be honest, there's not really many of them left, so it's not a massive loss for Kaiser at all, is it? There's probably going to be 2 left when he gets up.
Yeah, maybe it was worth it to do that. Probably it was worth it to just idle. And do you think Kaiser will lose a Ville here? I know he's not being a Cossack.
Oh, I didn't see it. Villager's only 28 HP.
The Explorer has been shooting forever, but Kaiserklein was paying attention.
Those 4 Hussars can obviously pick off that villager as well now, which is pretty important. Maybe they lose a villager, I don't know. But I mean, Kaiser's going to take down a trading post here, but really Hazza's in quite a good position. I mean, what can Kaiser do to punish us? Is that from aging himself? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, well, he will. No, I don't think you can age up. No, you will just lose everything. Like, the plan is probably to just try massing a lot of units, but there is a massive raid now.
Yeah.
Kaiser just lost 3 vills. So that's kind of...
4 even, that low HP villager now going down.
So it's really not looking good at all for Kaiserklein.
Yeah, and now 8 Janissary is now being shipped, and we're going to have to assume that the 2 Falconets just got shipped directly afterwards. And really from this with 13 Janissaries, a couple of Hussars, the military of Kaiser is pretty crap compared to that. There's only one Cossack, and what's that going to do? Even if he gets 4 Cossacks out now as well, the couple of Hussars there and the Janissaries handily do with those, and the Falconets just rip through this front face really easily.
Yeah, I think Kaiser will really struggle to kill the Falks. That's what you expect in this matchup, and yeah, that's what is happening now. Yeah, and now Hazza will go back with the Hussar at the right moments because 5 Cossacks have been trained by Kaiserklein. Also, they might fight, or let's see. Yeah. Oh no.
No. They do get spotted though, which is pretty important actually for Hazza. He now knows he needs to sort of stay a bit closer to his Falconets instead of just being gung ho. But yeah, those blockhouses are going to go down very quickly. No veteran Janissaries yet, which maybe Hazza's going to get a couple after the next batch.
Yeah, he has the wood, so he will do that soon. But Kaiser is not even trying to defend the blockhouses, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what his plan is to come back now. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's going to probably lose a villager there as well, isn't he? Oh, a couple of villagers.
Oh, yeah. He needs to be careful. Well, oh, dodging shot, only 20 damages. But there is one SR still.
Cannons is there's a lot of Cossacks. That's 13 Cossacks, and those Falconets are out of place. He's going to pull them quite nicely there, Hazza. But I mean those Falconets are going to go down, yeah, and that's not too great.
Already done.
Veteran Janissary is coming in at a nice time as well, so he's going to lose even more Cossacks. There's only a couple of Strelets, which don't really pose too much of a threat to the Janissaries. But yeah, I mean, it's really nicely done from Kaiser, just taking out those Falconets and taking out the main reason why the Russian army was so scared of the Ottoman army.
Yeah, but there is Mams on the way, I think. So. or if they are not, they will come soon. No, I think they are on the way. Oh no, he's just gathering the gold. No, my bad. But he will soon have a shipment on some Mams. But yeah, no, it's maybe okay for Kaiser. Yeah, that wasn't so many Janissaries from Hazza, and Kaiser is also maybe trying to age up in the back of it. I'm not sure. If
he has a lot of food
on the way, he's probably gonna age up.
Although that maybe because he hasn't had he's had a stable up, so he hasn't been making any Cossacks either. So yeah, I think you're right. Maybe he's gonna send 700 coin and age up.
Oh, well, no, he actually just shipped 13 Strelets, so maybe he just had a mismacroed because he had no blockhouse, so he couldn't spawn. He was waiting for his new blockhouse that is here. And yeah, apparently he's not aging up.
Although, as you said, if those Mams come in now, I mean, there's a lot of Strelets there of the Russian army. There's only 9 Musketeers, and Musketeers obviously, especially the... There you go.
No.
Or maybe he'll send Spahi. I don't know. Spahi
because
worse.
he shipped gold.
He shipped gold, yeah, I know he's not going to. But
yeah. But Spahi is quite good as well, yeah, against Russia. Both are good. Yeah, as they say, both work, yeah. But I guess Mams is a bit better because it's really a pain for Russia to kill them.
Well, any civ to kill them, it's a pain. I mean, they're ridiculous, Mamluks. Yeah,
well, sometimes it's not so good. Like, if you ship Mams versus China, they are gonna do nothing because there is all this Changdao who kill Mams.
It's because of their range resistance, right? Which is why they're so powerful. There's the Mams, and this is just like Musk Huss on steroids. Those Mamluks have what? They're basically the same damage as a veteran Hussar with 1450 HP and 0.4 range resist, which is just insane. And those Strelets do what? Like 4 damage versus them each shot. So this might be quite a good fight for Hazza to take. Although there is quite a lot of Musketeers now, and Musketeers in hand combat aren't too bad.
Yeah. And let's see, because it's interesting because maybe Kaiser he's known to have a very good micro, and you need that because you need to never shoot at the Mams with the Strelets, like just ignore them, and it's not so easy. You gotta be good at microing, I think. Yeah, well, I think so far it's good for Ottomans, but
Those Mams, he's lost one. One of them's low HP. The Musketeer's now coming out, and I think this is good for Kaiser even. I mean, those Mams are basically 2,000 gold, which is nearly gone down the drain, representing 20 score there. And yeah, I don't entirely think this is entirely a good fight. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there is not enough Jans actually.
Yeah, those Mams are now gone. They've sort of dwindled away. There's only Janissaries, and those Strelets can actually just sort of cut them away. There was a Jan raid back in Kaiser's base, and he has lost a lot of villagers now, but he is still ahead on eco. And
yeah, but no, it's not looking good for Hazza actually.
Yeah, it's not looking good at all. He's going to have Minutemen probably coming out from that town centre in just a second. No, he's not. He's getting Golter Town District, and there's a couple of Hussars coming out, 5, so he's going to be able to snare that mass, and obviously he does want to come forward. With the Janissaries, and he needs to do as much damage as he possibly can here, really, before there's anything which can kill those Hussars. But
yeah, the thing is, Hazza is really all in, because actually I don't know. I think I wouldn't have played like he did. You can send 1k wood after the 2 Falks, and then you instead of shipping Mams, you produce more Falks with 1k gold next. And I feel like it's not as all in, because then you still have the artillery foundry, and you can go forever for Falks Jans. And that's a good composition versus H2 Russia. While now he's on full Jans, and that's not going to do much against these Strelets.
yeah, exactly. And the Strelets are just so efficient. It doesn't have Boyage yet, but we'll probably see that coming in relatively soon. And exactly then,
yeah.
It just came in like then. But yeah, Boyage is just insane, and these Strelets are just ridiculously efficient now. They're basically incredibly cheap crossbowmen, and Janissaries obviously do get countered by them, and Janissaries themselves aren't really the most efficient units, I don't believe, because their actual damage is pretty weak, but they do have a lot more health. He does have a Janissary raid at the top left here, so Hazard's sort of doing what Sompu does and just trying to pick stuff off. And there's a couple of Hussars which might go raiding themselves as well. But maybe Hazard's sort of got to wait for Sparhi here.
Oh yeah, that might be the plan. Actually, overall, Hazza has killed 15 villagers.
16 now. Probably going to go for even more so there.
Yeah, but the thing is he still is 10 villagers behind at the end. So yeah, that's still not enough, I guess. Oh, one other will go down. Oh, why is he pushing with that? Not sure.
Maybe 5 Aberscars.
That's looking good. I was hoping there was spies, but no, yeah.
That's really not a very efficient shipment, is it? That's not a great shipment, 5 Aberscars.
No, it's terrible. Especially when they are not veterans, and yeah, they aren't. So, yeah, I think it's over, honestly. Laggy again.
I open with decks, and when you open decks, it lags. I don't know then. It's delay. I have no clue.
Okay.
I don't know what that's about,
but yeah, also the fact that when you are talking about the decks, but the fact that Hazza was missing one H3 shipment might be relevant now. Which one is she missing, by the way? Oh yeah, you can have something.
Cav combat, maybe?
Or usually it's rather 5 Cav Archer.
Yeah, which you don't really
so relevant, in fact, especially here.
I mean, he could still revolt, I guess. And Kaiser's actually aging now, but he's obviously fast aging. So, and he does have a shipment ready, so he can send sort of 2 Falconets or even Manchu here would be pretty insane, because obviously Ottoman versus Manchu is pretty weak.
Yeah.
But
even Abus are not so good against Manchu, because Abus are doing okay against goons because they ignore resist, but yeah, Manchu don't have any range resist anyway, so they just have more HP to make up for that. So yeah, Abus don't easily kill them.
Yeah, has his villagers there. Oh, he does lose a single villager. It's not too good.
He lost one. Yeah.
He lost one. There's a couple of Minutemen coming over to the left here, which, by the looks of it, probably will pick up a couple of villagers themselves because they do have a. Yeah, I think 6 Minutemen can kill a villager, right? Why is he running away? Just shoot them.
He has great cuts, so not
Yeah,
anymore.
of course, yeah.
Yeah, actually, he made a market at some point.
Yeah, he's lost 3 villagers, which isn't good.
Yeah.
Just some Minutemen, and obviously Minutemen weren't really doing anything anyway. At the same time, there's a couple of villagers going up at the top, down at the top right here, and that mass actually, that big mass from veteran Janissaries and Abaskons obviously do with malice, so they're pretty useless against villagers. But yeah, more and more villagers going down, and at this point, it's sort of whoever's able to starve each other out. And those 2 Abaskons, those 2 Falconets, we're taking out the Abaskons, and surely Hazza can't take this fight.
No way. But yeah, Kaiser lost 30 villagers now, so that's quite huge. But still, yeah, he's still winning quite easily, I think. Because this army is like full giants, and you don't fight versus Toilets, Musketeers, and 2 Falks. And I don't know, I don't think Hazza will ever be able to fight against this army.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still, I guess, as I said earlier, there is still that Sparhy shipment, but even then, that 5 Sparhies doesn't take out this, doesn't even dent that Musketeer mass there, and these Musketeers are now at least normal colonial Musketeers. Oh yeah, 2 Falconets from his own, from Hazza, although 2, I don't think 2's enough, I don't think he needs more than 2.
Yeah, and he might lose them, actually.
A bit of lag there, I don't know what that was about. And yeah, these Oprychniks, thankfully they're going to get spotted by the mass here, but those 2 Falconets are going to sort of make Hazza have to move, and if those Oprychniks are particularly important because they do have a multiplier versus artillery. Oh, there's actually 3 Falconets here from Hazza.
Yeah, I think he had one from earlier. Like he had a batch of 1 and then a batch of 2.
Oh. Although, saying that, I think Kaiser's going to take one out, and it's now all going to be down to Micro, those Falconets, and they actually sort of traded equally, and this can't be good for Hazza, this fight here.
No, definitely. Or even not equally, because Kaiser sniped one with his infantry units, so yeah. GG. Yeah, we can try. Also, I don't think it's me lagging, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's me either, so I don't know.
Yeah, but we'll try. You can try without me.
We'll try just me casting.
Okay.
So I'll talk to you later. Thanks for casting the 2 games.
Yeah,
I'll talk to you later.
Thanks to you. Yeah, see you.
But yeah, you can look from the what they called here, the post game graphs here. Hazza really couldn't win a matchup, which is pretty one-sided, unfortunately, and he lost that fight in the mid here after he's aged up. Obviously, the Russian age up is a lot later up over here, and after that he was sort of down down behind Kaiser the whole time, which was unfortunate, really, to say the least for Hazza. But we're going to get into the next game straight away. I'm quickly going to go to the toilet whilst these 2 choose what civs they're going to play.
Yes.
Right, sorry about that. Yeah, so by the looks of it, Kaiser and Hazza, well, it's Kaiser to pick. They can't play Russia, or they can't play Ottoman Kaiser, but he can play everything else, and Hazza can play absolutely anything he wants. I have no clue what map it is next, but hopefully it's a map both players should be able to play their civs that they enjoy playing on. I need to find the map. I think it's Florida or something like that. Let's have a look. We actually have a large number of viewers now, actually 336. So thanks guys for watching. I know this. I know the official Age of Empires Twitter or something or Instagram put a advertisement up for the game. So that's probably where all the extra viewers have come from. Yeah. But thanks for B1 for casting earlier. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to continue, which is unfortunate. The next map is Pro Division on semi-finals. It is Arizona. Oh, they already posted it in game. I didn't see that. So yeah, Arizona, a map which is it's more open than the two maps we've seen so far. Obviously, Bonnie Springs is very, very close to me. Oh, not close to me, close together. What am I saying? Close together, and the same for New England. And this map allows you to have a bit more of an area you can go around in and sort of do raids and whatever. And it's much more sort of vanilla as a map, sort of more obvious. I'm confusing myself, but yeah. Kaiser picked Iroquois, and Hazza's now to pick a civ himself. He can pick the Ottoman civ again, and Ottoman is very strong on this map because of that 4 TP line. And obviously, Iro has those Horus Prowlers, which are really strong, and Ottoman has Abbas guns, which just demolish them. So we'll just have to see what Hazza picks. It is up to him to pick, and he can choose whatever he wants. Oh, okay. There you go. Germany has his picking, which is incredibly strong, as everyone knows. Germany is one of the strongest civs in the game. Well, I say that. It's been nerfed since Arvian, as well as Iroquois. Obviously, Iroquois is also a very strong civ on TP maps. But yeah, Civ has plays quite a lot. Hazza has quite a deep civ pool anyway. So I believe he's not one sort of shy away from most civs. Obviously, with team, you tend to play more civs. But yeah, Kaiser is playing Iro. Obviously, I think Kaiser is probably a player who sort of brought back Iro's sort of power and prowess after it was sort of neglected after being nerfed from AoE3. And because of it, actually was nerfed in the latest iteration of EP. But yeah, we're starting the game up. I'll have to check for hunts, because this map in particular is pretty rough for hunts, I believe. Hopefully it's fine. Hunts seem fine to me. Let's have a look. One hunt here, one hunt here, one hunt. It's 4 for Kaiser. And at the same time, Hazza has 1, 2, 3, and... Well, maybe not. Maybe only Hazza has 3. Actually, I think it's equal. I think it's fine. But yeah, so this matchup is sort of heavily dependent on that crate start. It is a wood crate start, so both players are going to go for the TP. I assume as such, yeah. Kaiser is chopping some wood for that TP. He's also converted that Outlaw Pistolero and picked up a Scout, which is really strong. But Kaiser, what did he miss a pass here? Yeah, he's going to go specifically back to the one on the right here so he can get the pass quicker, I believe. Although he needs to be careful because it might just be slightly too late, and Haz is obviously going to pick up that first pass, and he does get scouted about Discovery Travois. Actually, no, I don't know what Kaiser is doing. As he's not chopping wood particularly quickly. So he's obviously going to get the TP up, but it seems relatively late to what you'd expect. And he's probably going to miss the second pass. I don't know, I think I'm over-analysing that maybe slightly. But at the same time, Hazza got his first pass there, and he gets that shipment in really quickly. And obviously, as Germany, you do have 2 settler wagons, which is one of the strongest shipments you can send in the game. And you do have 3, because it's basically 4 settlers in Age 1, which is incredible. And at the same time, Kaiser is going to be sending through 3 villagers. He does miss the pass. That is the same pass that Hazza just got, and it is a lot of XP on this map, so that is significant. But yeah, he didn't send his shipment too much later. But look, by the looks of it, Hazza is just going to go. He's just scouting. He hasn't actually picked up a single treasure now, I don't believe. Now Kaiser's the only one who has 75 food and the native scout, which he just picked up earlier, which is really strong actually. You can just scout around, and particularly on this map because it has quite sparse treasures. The map has treasures sort of dotted around the place. They're not particularly strong either. 60 food there. A settler actually is pretty big, and Kaiser's going to be picking that up, which he'd be happy about. Actually, the settler's probably the best treasure on the map. Yeah, he's going to pick that up. And if we look in base, there's 55 coin there. There is a 35 food treasure. There's the other stray cow, which is sort of pointless. 3 stray sheep is also... actually, I think that's probably better than a cow, but obviously you don't really want to be picking it up. What's interesting about this treasure is that this outlaw rifleman can be converted by Kaiser, making it one of the best converts, as it's sort of like an insane skirmisher early on with 40 damage and doesn't have a malice against anything. And I believe it's actually faster. I don't think it's 7 speed, I think it's 4.5 or something. But yeah, Kaiser obviously is aging up relatively the same time as Hazza. By the looks of it, he's doing a fast stage. Let's have a look. Text being researched. No, he's not. He's doing the Wise Woman, which is the crates, which signifies to me that he's either going to do a sort of late push, but with how much wood he's collecting here, he's probably going to go for another TP. Especially with these Pistolero now coming along, he's going to take out that German explorer, Kaiser, even called Kaisertal, even actually, which obviously is in reference to Kaiser himself. Because of how much Germany he does play. But yeah, he's almost certainly Kaiser's going to bring a sort of like Pokemon army down here, and probably going to take out Hazza's explorer there. What Hazza does actually do as well as he puts his he's running away as his explorer now, and he's not going to get snared. It's not going to go down. It's nicely done by Hazza. He's going to get a bit of damage on that Kaiserklein, which obviously is you want to keep alive as Zero because of the benefit it does give to your units. He does even take out that Pistolero. Kaiser now is aging up about roughly the same time as Hazza, with an extra villager than you don't normally expect. You to age up with 16 villagers instead of 15 because of that treasure over to the right here. But it's all going to be down at the moment to see what both is put down as buildings and where their buildings go. If we look at this Travois, we'll have a look. look at where it's going. Actually, we don't have to do that anymore. We can just look at where the line is. And yeah, there you go. There's that Warhawk going straight, pretty far forward here. And a couple of pikemen are in queue for Hazza. That's probably because he's expecting that Kanya shipment. But Kaiser, I think, is going to come down here and put that TP down, most certainly, and get an early stagecoach up. But he's even spotting that Warhut. Those couple of pikemen, if they do pop out and those Ulans do come out, they're going to get some decent damage on that Warhut as it's being built. Pikemen do obviously have a slightly extra speed, and they do have insane siege actually as well. And if they get a couple of torches off here, they're going to be doing huge damage. Each one of these is doing 32 damage. And yeah, Kaiser knows this. That's probably going to go down. Yeah, goes down straight away. And if we look at shipments sent, Kaiser actually sent 600 wood. So that's to secure that trading post line. But his Explorer's going to go down surely here. Maybe not. Maybe it'll stay up and just get that trading post up just in time. Yeah, it's going to get a trading post up, but his Explorer is going to go down, which means he can't build any more up. There's 100 XP going towards Hazza, which is roughly half a shipment, or a third of a shipment at this point. And yeah, to be honest, this is really good for Hazza. There are those couple of Tomahawks which are getting posted next to the Explorer. They are, by the looks of it, going to go off to the left here and try and take out Hazza's own trading post. But those two Ulans, they might catch a couple of Kaiser's units out where they don't want to be, really. And those crossbow, which Hazza does have, are going to be able to defend those pikemen from the other Tomahawks. So, honestly, this is incredibly good for Hazza. And thankfully, he did get that Warhut down, Kaiser. But Kaiser did also lose a villager just there. So, to be honest, as starts go, you can just look at the military unit population and the economic unit population. This is almost certainly in favour for Hazza. Ooh, another villager nearly going down, so Kaiser almost certainly needs to be careful. That villager only 2 HP. And yeah, if these villagers over here get caught, they're a significant distance away from that town centre there. And those hyenas might even get caught themselves, and although those Ulans aren't incredibly high HP themselves, and he's probably going to lose one here. He does decide to go for a villager instead, and he can probably just get down one, trading the rest of those Ulan HP. Or he wants to get one down at least. But yeah, there's 7 hyenas, and this is going to be a bit of a push for Kaiser. But honestly, I don't know what Kaiser's really going to do here, because those hyenas are going to get caught up by those 4 Ulans, and there's nothing to stop them here. And Ulans, when they get damage on units, especially the hyenas, which are pretty mushy units. Oh, I was saying that there are a couple of Kanya, which he does need to probably keep alive, because those pikemen will get sniped down by the hyenas. And thankfully for him, the Ulans are here as well. And Hazza's Explorer is just off to the right, but it's probably going to go down very quickly. Yeah, he's going to get targeted down here almost certainly. And yeah, he's just going down there, which is a decent amount of HP lost there. But a couple of Kanyas do survive, and unfortunately for Hazza, those crossbowmen aren't going to go down. Hazza does age up, which I did miss. Yeah, I mean, a bit of a sloppy start for Kaiser, but he does have the trading post line. Actually, no, both players have equal trading post, an equal amount, and he's now to the next age. And once you sort of getting war wagons out, and you get, especially now that there's 4 Kanya being now shipped. There was a corral being made earlier. I forgot about that. But yeah, if Hazza can get sort of like 9 Ulan out, or even a couple of war wagons out, he's going to be in a really nice position, especially with these 2 trading posts. And the skirmishers now coming out themselves. And yeah, a couple of war wagon in queue. That Scout actually paying dividends as well, because he knows what's there. Unfortunately for Hazza, there's no war wagons out yet, so those Kanya are going to get in the skirmishes. Maybe he was a bit overzealous there, and we're going to have to hope for his sake, really. But a couple more do pop out. He has enough of resources to get 5 out, and 5 by the looks are going to pop in just a second. And thankfully for Hazza here, those war wagons do have 16 range, so the hyenas, although they do decent damage against them, the hyenas do unfortunately they can't kite. which is what's important. And there's Kaiser maybe sort of resigning. And unfortunately, losing that blockhouse early on was sort of the strike, which may have just sort of ended his. Yeah, as he said, he was too late, and he lost that war hut because of the couple of pikes and the Ulands on it. And if we look at the post game here, really, it's there just wasn't a presence at all. I mean, before Kaiser got any units out, Hazza had what was it? I mean, he did actually have units out. He had 17, but Hazza was double his unit population, which isn't something you really see from the German side in this matchup, especially when you have someone going so aggressive at war hut. But he just lost it so quickly. So it is 2-1 to Kaiser, and it is Florida. But Hazza has to pick first, and quite obviously he can't play Germany now, and Kaiser can still play Iroquois. And this map's interesting. You start with a trading post, not a trading post, a market. You also have those sheep you can go and collect, which are pretty important, and they do sort of help you out in a sort of a mid game where you can get a sort of a boost to your food, especially if you build a livestock pen. And obviously there is that water element there, but Hazza's going to go British, which is a strong civilization on this map in particular because of that market, as I said. Because if you get a coin starter tank, you can just get straight away get hunting dogs, and it's quite a high resource map, which is what you like as British. Kaiser might go Brit again. He might just go Brit into this because I think there's some hubbub from the sort of the top echelons of the game that British is probably one of the strongest civs nowadays because of just because of how they got their manor house reverted or whatever. I don't particularly know why, but no, France coming in for Kaiser, which is another civ he's quite strong with, and obviously he's probably, I don't think he's quite happy with that decision of going France, but obviously France is quite strong on this map. As I said, you do start with a market, and obviously hunting dogs with France is early on is really good. But yeah, Florida is it's interesting. It's interesting as a map. Have to wait until the game starts recording, and it is a wood start. It's a food start, so actually probably better for Hazza here as a starter, because you don't have the ability to get that trading post up, which is what you want to do as France early on. But you do have the ability to get that coin, which by the looks of it, that's what Kaiser's going to do. He's going to have 2 villagers on coin and get that hunting dogs up and running. This map in particular, I know is quite strong for VC, so Victoria Company, and sort of booming that way as British. And we might see Hazza doing that. And actually, on this map, you do have the Seminole as well, which they do have this technology, this 25% extra damage. It is expensive, but obviously for the British player, you do have Longbowmen, which do benefit from that quite heavily. The same for this as well. You get an extra 10% from this Carib settlement over on the right here. So maybe something we'll see later on. By the looks of it, Hazza just picked up a hunting dog, which does do a decent amount of damage, but I think it's going to go down almost certainly. It's going to go down after the second shot. So it didn't really serve too much of a purpose there, and he did lose a lot of HP from picking it up. At the same time, obviously, the French player did start with a scout, and he's going to scout, I think that's 80 food. There is a wood treasure with 2 alligators on some of the maps. There's 80 wood at the back there, which is really strong. And especially for France in this situation, because you want to get that early TP up, as I said. There's 90 coin. Yeah, so he's going to pick up 80 food here with the alligators. There you go, he's going to pick up 80 food. That scout obviously might go down, which would be quite big, because the scout does give you a lot of, well, scouting really, because you can put it invisible. And yeah, sort of a standard age 1 here. Both players going for that hunting dogs upgrade, I believe. Yeah, Hazza going for hunting dogs, and Kaiser quite obviously going for hunting dogs. So yeah, sort of standard age 1. Not really much to talk about here. Kaiser's even eating those sheep, which do give you sort of a boost and will allow him to go up on probably 14 villagers or 13 villagers here, which is really strong as France. Obviously, those 3 cuirassiers now do come in. He did idle a little bit, unfortunately, but that's just how it is. And British, by the looks of it, is aging roughly a similar time with actually exactly equal population in regards to well, exactly equal population, but yeah, so if we look at the decks of both players as well, if we look at shipment sent, both players obviously sending those 3 settler cards, 3 cuirassiers, not cuirassiers, couriers, courier, I can't, CDBs, I'm not going to say the actual word because I'm not French, but yeah, both players sending sort of standard shipments. There's that Virginia company, I got it wrong earlier, is Virginia company, not Victoria company, which he can send, which makes the manners slightly cheaper, or significantly cheaper actually. 35% is a significant amount. But yeah, I mean, Kaiser's now going from his TP. There's no TP from Hazza, so that sort of tells me that Virginia company is probably not going to happen, not really going to occur. But yeah, I mean, both players having sort of a standard age 1, even with the treasures. I mean, maybe the treasures are slightly in favour of Kaiser there. Especially seeing as I think he got more sheep. Yeah, he got 6 sheep as he already ate one, didn't he? And he's also got 2 villagers by the looks of it going forward, which is peculiar to say the least. As normally, as France, you'd be the one being sort of defensive in this matchup. Especially with British now having 2 villagers forward, and I believe there's probably going to be a barracks put down somewhere for both players. Oh, Kaiser does get spotted, and there's the barracks are right next to each other. Who's going to get it up quicker? I believe probably Kaiser's getting it up quicker. There's that outpost going forward for the British player, and this is, by the looks of it, going to be pretty aggressive from both players, really. And they're both going to get their villagers on the. Oh, that's interesting. The second barracks going down, so that first barracks is probably going to go up quicker for. Yeah, went up quicker for Kaiser, and if we look at units in queue, almost certainly both players are going to go for musketeers, which actually isn't the case. They're going to go for crossbowmen and longbow, so that's a bit of a change. Maybe you'll see 3 hussars coming out for Kaiser at some point. 700 wood coming in for Hazza, standard, well, completely standard really, and there's 700 wood coming in for France there as well. Obviously, the tower here does like 0 damage against the Coeur de Bois, and there's a couple of longbow which do actually handily beat the crossbow here. And because of building at second barracks, Kaiser is sort of stinted here by his production, and thankfully he does have that Jacquard orbit or his explorer, which is going to be able to snare, but with some good micro, quite honestly. Those crossbow probably going to not be a best trade. Yeah. I think Hazza got another batch out, maybe? I don't know. Maybe he only lost 1. Yeah, he lost 4 longbowmen. And obviously this is quite a bigger mass from the French player now because of the two two barracks here. But yeah, I mean, Hazza's defending this quite nicely. He's got the economy advantage now because of Kaiser now shipping 700 wood, 600 wood, and obviously British now does get manor houses coming in, but it actually even has steel traps. So even in regards to economic upgrades, are about equal. There's 6 longbowmen coming in, which is again quite peculiar. He doesn't entirely need to pressure too much here. And a couple of pikemen are in queue, which is good because there is the stable going down in Kaiser's base. And yeah, he's just going to siege these down. These don't represent a huge amount of siege, but the pikemen do, which is nice. And this is going to be going down all down to micro here because obviously the longbowmen do sort of decimate crossbow if you can micro him correctly. And thankfully for Hazza, he's pretty decent at micro. I think he's probably one of the better players in the game at micro. And the outpost also does a decent amount of damage. 700 coins. There's still no for CDB coming in for Kaiser. And he's not getting good trades here. If we look at units lost, 14 crossbowmen to... longbowmen are slightly more expensive, but British does have a bigger economy here. So he's definitely almost certainly getting worse trades. Especially now he's going to be sort of feeding out villagers... Not villagers, crossbowmen, which are just going to get decimated as they come out. That batch almost... all dying, only one surviving, and even that one surviving is half HP. Only a batch of two hussars isn't going to do very much at all. I mean, even the pikemen here, just a couple of pikemen he does have, are just going to clean up incredibly easily. And even the longbowmen themselves don't, in a mass, they just fire so fast, and you can just see they decimate those hussars at range. And now that single barracks has gone down, there's not a lot of hope for Kaiser left, especially seeing he sent all these shipments sort of repetitively. Even more crossbow are now going to go down. 8 crossbow does get shipped, so the military is now equal. But Hazza's just going to get more and more longbows, and longbows just destroy, don't they? And there's even at hussars, a batch of 5 hussars is quite big. That is going to get sort of a lot of damage sort of soaked up here, and it's all about micro here. Only 8 pikemen coming through, which do defend quite easily against the hussars here, but he doesn't really want to be taking this fight, especially seeing as he's got military units in queue, which are about to pop. 5 pikemen about to pop themselves, I believe. And yeah, there's the 5 pikemen popping nicely onto the hussars in the back there. They do get snared by that Dracqua, the explorer basically, which is quite nice. So Kaiser did sort of save a hussar there, which is something sort of a benefit to himself. But again, he's not getting great trades here. Those pikemen, even though they are dying to a crossbowman quite easily, are themselves sort of doing a lot of damage, and Kaiser's resigning because of it. And he's gone instantaneously out there, and you can just see there's less units on Hazza's side there because of the more expensive longbowmen, but they just decimate in that sort of fight. So it is 2-2 now, and it is a best of 7, so it's basically first to 4. Yeah, so all to play for now. Kaiser obviously coming out quite strong in the first couple of games, but yeah, since then it's sort of petered off, and both players are now sort of equal. And yeah, it's Arkansas now, or Kansas, as people who can't say it correctly say. Yeah, so Kaiser obviously annoying. I don't know why I have a profanity filter on. That's really annoying me. There you go. There I can see swear words again. But yeah, so it is Hazza to pick first. He can't play British. He can play Japan here, which we haven't seen very often actually. Japan has been buffed recently. You can no longer deck scout them because of you normally have a little 2x, which has been taken away. If I show you, well, apparently it doesn't want to load, so I don't know. But anyway, you normally can see a little 2x, but unfortunately that's been changed for Kaiser. But Kaiser can play whatever he wants to play. He play Germany still, which is quite strong with Japan, but some people say it's a counter. I don't know. He can't play Ottoman, which is really a counter. And there's obviously he doesn't like Japan, Kaiser, and now he's sort of reading off that he maybe doesn't want to play the series. Oh, Iroquois. So Iroquois is quite strong against Japan. I think it's about 50-50. We saw it quite often versus the EPL actually as a matchup. But But yeah, so we're gonna go into this Japan versus Iroquois. As I said, quite often played. By the looks of it, the game doesn't actually want to launch. I don't know why. I don't really know what's happening, if I must be honest. Hopefully we do get into the game. Oh. Hopefully ESO is not down. That would be really annoying. I can't... Oh, I can load Hazza cities now. So that at least is a benefit. And we can sort of see what I meant by 2x. So Hazza's just already up. Hazza did have some problems with his internet beforehand. Which... What does that even mean? I don't even know what that is. Apparently I'm still in the game. Which is just insane. I don't know what's happening. Right, we're actually getting into a game finally, which is good. But as I said, Arkansas, it's an interesting map. It's pretty basic. You have the strong treasures at the top here, and obviously you have a 3 TP line at the bottom, which Kaiser's probably going to end up using because obviously it's beneficial to the Yoko player. But I'll check the hunts quickly. I think they're pretty fair. Obviously for Japan it doesn't really matter for the hunts, but make sure they're fair that way. Mine seem completely fine as well, so I think we're ready to go. Kaiser does instantaneously see the Yoko treasure. It is a wood start, which I dare to say is probably better for Japan, because you can go for that consulate up. Yeah, I mean, Hazza scouting with that cherry orchard rickshaw. He is going to scout that CDB treasure, which is probably one of the best on the map, especially for Japan, because you can take it so easily. These black bears die incredibly quickly from the divine strike, and by the looks of it, Hazza's not going to go for the consulate. He's just going to go for 2 shrines, even building a shrine with his villager, and he's going to go straight towards that CDB at the top, I believe. And just sort of pick it off. Although there is a bit of a contention here, 80 XP, which is again pretty significant actually. Simply due to the fact that XP before you get your first shipment in is probably one of the best treasures you can get, because it's just so beneficial, and you get that shipment in quicker. No, they're sort of dancing around, and Hazza does pick that up. He's been practicing against Turk, and thankfully for him, I think he can. Yeah, he's going to pull with his little run from his Explorer. Funny enough, Kaiser now does have enough for the trading post, but he's going to be late to go and get it. I'm not entirely sure how much it affects it, because he's not going to get the. He's not going to get the. Yeah, he's going to put it up there, but he's not going to get the extra XP, which attributes to a shipment coming in earlier, because he's going to have his shipment before that goes up. Two villagers coming out from Hazza, which is actually, to be honest, because he's only got 2 villagers in deck, it's sort of the only thing I'd expect. I mean, maybe 300 wood is better, especially once you have a wood start, because you can get the extra shrines up, which do roughly equal 2 villagers, or a couple of villagers anyway. But yeah, he's going to pick up, was it 70 food here? Though there is another bit of a contention, which who's going to pick it up? I don't know. Got that? Probably Kaiser got it first. Yeah, Kaiser got 70 food though, which is pretty good. He's going to probably get a normal 15 villager age up instead of a worse 16 villager age up. And at the same time, what is Hazza going up? That looks like the Toshogu Shrine to me. How do I look here? Text being researched. Yeah, it is the Toshogu Shrine. So that's going to give him some export and roughly 2... what was it? 2 2 shrines worth of eco, which is nice. And Hazza's just gonna be using this what's he called, Bonang to scout. He can't stop and do that poof until he ages up. Thankfully, he's just out of range of Kaiser, but Kaiser might pick him up, which is so. I mean, it's beneficial obviously, but Japan does have two of these people, so it's not too bad if he does die. Hazard's gonna pick up 40 XP, and that 10 XP from that bear, so that will get him sort of stronger towards his next shipment. Kaiser at the same time is just aging up normally. He doesn't have any extra shipments in there now. His deck is pretty standard. There's not really much to say about it, and the same for Hazard's deck, I believe, is pretty standard. Does have some. He does have some interesting cards in Age 4. You do have the 16 Yumis, 14 Ashigawas, and the Flaming Arrows. The Flaming Arrows in this Shogun are pretty standard. I don't think you'd never see a Japanese deck without them. But there's 4 Kanyas, which are going to go forward. And Warhawk does get scouted, but you can see it's got a bit of damage on it, so that just tells me it's been scouted. Also, it's right next to a shrine, so of course it's been scouted. But yeah, it's going to go forward here. I think I don't think he's really going to get anything. Obviously, Japan is notoriously hard to actually to scout. Not scout, but take any villagers out. And he does have those sentries, which, to be honest, Kaiser's now fighting. He does have a good crack shot on them, but well, actually, to be honest, really good micro here, because he's all those 4 sentries only really getting 1 Kanya down, and that's roughly about equal in cost. But it did stop some of the idle time there, and a couple of hyenas do come out, but they're not really going to be doing too much here because of the TC fire, maybe. And those clubs themselves are just going to run off and just scare away the Kanya horseman there. One of them even being 15 HP, and that Explorer actually being relatively low HP as well, 132. You don't want to lose that. At the same time, because you've got the Japanese consulate down, those clubs are pretty powerful actually. They're sort of like beefed up pikes, so those Kanya aren't going to be a problem, and those Yumis do have more range than the hyenas, so they can sort of kite, but it's quite difficult to. And obviously hyenas do have slightly faster firing rates in than the Yumis. Oh, he might lose a villager. He lost a single villager there, and these sentries do come out. He's going to get a snare on because of the Concha there. And there's no more of a horseman left. And I don't think Kaiser's got 3 Kanya in deck. No, he doesn't. And there's 4 villagers. But those Yumi are getting decent damage. And same with the sentries there. And because of that constant TC fire doing 90 damage. And he's slightly inefficient. He's got 11 settlers in there instead of 10. But yeah, I mean, this is quite nicely cleaned up here for Hazza. And Kaiser's sort of all in here. He's got 7 hyenas as a shipment, which at the same time Hazza's gone for relatively eco-heavy shipments. Yeah, these Yumis are just doing a lot of damage. If we look at units lost, obviously the hyenas are cheaper than the Yumis, I believe. So yeah, they're slightly cheaper because they are only just food, aren't they? Yeah, 100 food, which is cheaper than 105 combined food and gold. But yeah, this is. I mean, Hazza's in a really good position here. He's not too good on the shrine pop. Only on sort of 50. Oh, not even 50. Four shrines, I believe. He's only on 4. But again, he's got a north position, and because of that, economically wise, he is ahead. Obviously, you have to account for that TP in the bottom, but even by score, he's ahead. And obviously, Japan tends to be slightly below on score. There's two. Oh, and that's a military rickshaw. So that's from the export. And he's gonna get stable up. We're probably gonna see 600 coins sent at some point. He can just sort of pump out those. I forgot what they're called now. Lancer type units. That Japan has. Which are really good against iron. There's over 1.5 multiplier on them. But yeah, I mean, this is Hazard's in a good position here. He's running out of berries slightly. Only has 3,000 on that one, and he has sort of 1,000 on there. But I mean, he can make a push out here at some point. And one thing in particular is this map does have berries on the map, so that sort of negates the need to send 2 cherry orchards so early. Six tomahawks. So this is a bit of a push. Kaiser did make a couple of canyons. And there's not a huge amount of those concha, those yamabushis, which he wants to sort of keep alive. But he did scout the canyons, which is good. And he does still have, he doesn't have Minutemen actually, so 600 coin now coming in. And if we look at units in queue, I don't know why Kaiser was saying balance, but there's the Naginatas. And at the same time as Naginatas on those Tomahawks, which are anti-cavalry units, the Yumis were taking some damage from the cannons themselves. But again, this fight is just better for Hazza, I think. Even if he has the better... Yeah, almost certainly this is better for Hazza. He's taking the fight in a place which is allowing his Yumis just to do damage. And obviously when Yumis are just allowed to sort of stand there and fire, they do a huge amount of damage. There's a Divine Strike just killing one of them. And yeah, I mean, this is Kaiser's army, which has been sort of shipments after shipments, and there's a couple of ashes do come out on the side, and Kaiser actually resigns. And yeah, maybe Kaiser having a bit of frustration against the Japanese Civ. We all do sort of know how much he hates Japan as a Civ. But unfortunately for him, he can't take it out of the game. Maybe he should learn how to play China, seeing as they sort of countered him. But I don't know what my next map is. I think it's Hudson Bay. No, Colorado, which is an interesting map. I mean, it's a map which has a lot of treasures. So a Civ like Sioux here is really strong. But it's also a map which doesn't have a... It has sort of choke points, but there's just a big choke point in the middle. And you only have one coin mining base. Kaiser hasn't played Germany, I don't believe. So he could still play Germany. And obviously Germany is Kaiser's sort of strongest Civ, but it is now in Hazza's favour, but he does have to pick first. But for a best of 7 series, this hasn't been too long so far. It's only been an hour and a half. Normally a series that is a best of 5 would normally last sort of 2 hours if it goes to 3-2, but Hazza's going to go to Russia. And yeah, so Hazza's actually sort of reverse sweep this a bit, hasn't he? Because he was 2-0 down, and now he's 3-2 up. And Kaiser unfortunately hasn't been able to sort of well, he hasn't been able to get back on his feet maybe. But yeah, he does get to choose what he wants to pick now. He can pick hero. Obviously, he can pick Germany. Germany is a strong pick against Russia. He can't pick Ottoman, which is pretty good against Russia. But we did see Ottoman lose against Russia actually earlier. There's Germany. That's sort of to be expected. One of Kaiser's strongest civs. But yeah, so it's in a way, if he does win here as Germany, it's sort of a ball is in Hazza's park, isn't it? Because of the benefit he does have from picking into to Kaiser's pick, especially in the last game, which is sort of what matters. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking into the future here, which I probably shouldn't be doing. But yeah, this is Kaiser's game to lose, in my opinion. But Turk saying Kaiser isn't playing bad, Hazza's just playing awesome, which is nice of him to say. But what start is it? It is a wood start, which is probably the best start you could possibly get for Germany here. I think it was wood and... was it wood and 300? Yeah. No, it was wood and 200 food. Which is sort of a standard start. But yeah, that trading post is going to go up straight away. He's going to pick up the coin. Obviously, you do get a bit of time from that trading post travel to go around. And what's Hazza picking up here? He's picking up that mature bear cub is actually insane. I was talking about it in the first game, although that was a black bear. This one's a grizzly bear. That thing does like 60 damage each swing against. I was Kaiser's typing in the chat and playing at the same time. That's pretty confusing to me. Yeah, he's gonna pick up that bear cub, and you can see how incredibly powerful that bear cub is. 27 multiplied by 3 on that guardian attack, and I mean there's 95 wood here, and you'll just see how just ridiculous this bear is. Look, it just goes down instantly. These are 300 HP bears. I mean, it's a couple of swings and it's down, and it's just godly, that thing. It's basically a Hazza on age 1. It does have a negative multiplier, but if he catches up and finds the German explorer, which he probably will actually, because he's coming this way, he just demolishes, doesn't he? And he isn't counted as a guardian either. So honestly, this isn't too good for Kaiser. Although it was a wood start, so that does sort of pay off. And that trading post. Actually, yeah, Hazza got the wood, didn't he? So normally use Russia, you sort of leave it there, and you don't actually use it. But he's going to pick up that trading post himself. I probably shouldn't be saying that, but Kaiser actually reworked the treasures. So it used to be 3 bears, so nobody ever took it. But anyway, I'll just shut up. I shouldn't be saying that. But the bear is insane, as he said. It is just ridiculous. It does like 30 damage, a swipe, and Hazza's gonna pick up 120 XP, which is really strong. Although saying that bear might go down if he gets spotted here. Yeah, I think he might go down because Kaiser can sort of kite it. It does have a lot of HP though, 140. And by the looks of it, actually, this is going to be another bit of a treasure contention. 110 coin, and that bear is just ridiculous. Look at how much damage. It's like a hussar. Hazza picked up 110 coin. Kaiser's got a single treasure. Oh, he has. He's got 90 coin. But look how many treasures Hazza's got. He's got a bear, obviously. About 95 wood, 120 XP. 120 XP and 110 coin. That explorer does go down. The medicine man does actually go on this map as well. And there's that Nutka treasure as well. But yeah, that Honcho is just insane. I mean, you look how good the age 2 actually is for age 1 even for Hazza is, and he's even edging up with more of a shipment curve than the Kaiser, even though Kaiser had the TP. And there's even 90 food going towards Hazza. He's cleaning everything up, isn't he? He's gonna get this He's gonna get this in Nutka in just a second. Yeah, so that Nutka's gonna get picked up, which is actually really quite good, especially versus Germany. It does have a multiplier against cavalry. He's even going to pick up 40 wood. This bear is insane. Look how many treasures he's got. It's ridiculous. But anyway, if we look at the decks, pretty standard decks. Some of reforms though in A3, which you don't normally see. Some of the reforms, obviously, yeah, Musketeers going Strats going to Musketeers, which is efficient if you can do it, but I don't think Hazza's going to do it. Obviously, that's Hushin Vega shipment has been changed, and you do have actually he has Team Cavalry attack here and cavalry hit points. So normally you'd see cavalry hit points for Germany, but you wouldn't see cavalry attack because it's slightly weak. But yeah, not really a oh, he's gonna lose a maybe not. I thought he was gonna lose a villager there, but he didn't. A couple of more Ulans coming out, which he probably shouldn't take this fight. But that grizzly bear still there. It represents probably more damage than a that grizzly bear is better than a Cossack, which is pretty insane. It's slower though, but I haven't really been paying attention to the game. I've just been looking at a bear. I'm really sorry about that. It doesn't. The Honcho doesn't snare though, which is one benefit, I guess. But the bear can now take the scout himself as well. But I'm gonna stop talking about this bear. Yeah, so Kaiser's now getting stone traps in at basically the same time Hazza is. Obviously, if we look at shipments sent here, both players have gone for sort of standard shipments. Five Cossacks is Kaiser's first shipment, and 700 wood as Hazza's second shipment, and 4 Cossacks now coming in as well. So this is quite a powerful mass here, especially about Grizzly Bear. And Kaiser doesn't want to be taking this fight, especially with the Musketeers behind. That Explorer did do a bit of snaring, which was nice. That settler going down. There is a low HP settler wagon actually just over to the left. So if he picked it up, it'd be pretty big, especially with for Germany basically. The Minutemen do come out. That bear is tanking all the shots from the Minutemen now, and it is doing a lot of damage itself. And Kaiser's not getting a great trade here. He's not getting a bad trade either, actually. Especially because of the Minutemen back there. Bear is still alive, doing damage on us, basically cleaning up. I mean, each strike it does is 32 damage, and it's still alive somehow. But, yeah, I mean, Kaiser's cleaned up because of that batch of 5. But yeah, Hazza's just building up his musketeer mass by the looks. So we look at units in queue. 10 musketeers in queue and a couple of Cossacks. And at the same time, Kaiser luckily didn't lose that settler wagon, wherever it is. I don't know where it is. I think it died. No, he didn't lose it. He's lost 2 settlers though. What's this over here? A couple of Ulans trying to scout some raidable areas, and Russia's just going to get more and more musketeers and a couple more Cossacks out, and probably push in actually. Although, pardon me, at the same time, the barracks is going up from the back left, and probably going to have a couple of crossbow coming out. Although Kaiser's aging, isn't he? My mistake. He has just sent a shipment now. Or maybe, I think he's probably just queued 8 crossbowmen. And he's going to unqueue it before he ages. Just in case he gets sort of caught out by a push from Hazza. Oh, a wall going down. So, Kaiser's sort of channeling us in the breeze here and putting down a sort of 2-segment wall, and what he's nicely done here is these trees and the house here and the second house and the market even is sort of made an area that is quite difficult to get into, and I think he did have those 8 crossbowmen actually in queue. And can those musketeers get through? I don't believe they can. And yeah, I mean, a couple of war wagons coming out here surely just demolishes this. And you can tell by how many units he has in Q, Kaiser. He's, I don't think, yeah, taking down that, quick wall coming down. This is Age of Empires 2, if he gets it up quickly. That settler wagon will tank a lot of damage, and that wall's going to pay probably a couple of, sort of half a minute of help there. And a couple of threats are in queue for Hazza now. And, yeah, I mean, if he can get 5 war wagons out here, surely he holds relatively easily. Yeah, there's the war wagons, but they do get a number of shots off from those musketeers, and those Uhlans aren't veteran, but there are going to be a couple more war wagons coming out. 3 more war wagons coming out from the side. He needs to get on those shallots of those Uhlans, which he does do, and these war wagons are more effective than what are they called here? Skirmishers at range against the musketeers to actually do slightly more damage in them, but. This is held quite nicely by Kaiser, and I think he will hold it. He just needs to micro it correctly. And you might lose a couple more villagers here, and actually, to be honest, because of how his base is set up, it's probably better for Kaiser, for Hazza maybe. And there's 8 skirmishers, which sort of are going to clean up the deal here, and Kaiser almost certainly is going to get a good trade out of this, especially with the Uhlans. There's a bit of lag there, I don't know what that's about, but and yeah, I mean, Hazza's actually relatively, not Hazza, Kaiser's relatively close to being able to get a mercenary shipment out. I mean, Jaegers here will just demolish, and what can Age 2 Russia do against Jaegers, if anything? Oh, it's a bit of maybe miss micro there from Kaiser. And honestly, the more time I think, oh actually no, he's run out of coin in base, and there's those Cossacks at the top there. They're sort of be patrolling around. So I think what Kaiser's going to do is he's going to wait for a couple more war wagons and just basically go full war wagon here. Or sort of 9 Ulan will come in, and he'll just use that as a way of pressuring, or 7 skirmishers, yeah. I probably shouldn't open that, actually, whilst the game is going on. Oh, Boyars came in, I didn't actually see that, that's my mistake. But yeah, there's 9 Ulans. An incredibly strong shipment. We're probably going to see veteran Ulan coming in just a second. Oh, there's actually a war wagon in queue, and it's probably instantaneously going to be veteran Ulan, surely. Oh, Kaiser's losing more and more villagers. Look at the eco population. I didn't see this. Kaiser's lost like all his villagers. So Kaiser has to take a fight here, and if Russia can sort of run around and do whatever they want to do, and that's what Russia does best, he can just build more and more of their outposts everywhere. And honestly, I don't think this is good for Kaiser. It's all about micro here again. I mean, if he can get a decisive fight here, he'll be in quite a good position. But yeah, those war wagons are they're so clunky. And yeah, the low coin on this map is sort of diminishing. And Kaiser does have shipments coming out, obviously, because he is Germany. But he needs to get something like a what do they call it? A Jaeger shipment out, or even those Black Rider shipments. The Black Riders do pretty decent against Russia at this point because of their unit composition. But Kaiser can't really wait around here, because if he waits around, he just gives Russia so much time, and because of that, Russia's just going to get a mass which he just can't beat, and if he gives them enough time, there is going to be a small raid down. There's flares. I'm the only person in game. There's no point doing that. But there is a small raid down here. Obviously, veteran are very strong at raiding, and he's going to slightly change that eco population difference. And he's going to take a fight here. A couple of those war wagons do go down, which isn't good. 7 skirmishers come out. But yeah, Germany's sort of loss of coin mines here has ended up with quite a discrepancy in the score. I mean, Germany obviously normally have a higher score than the Russian player because of Russia's units actually not counting as much score as they really should do. But Russia's just only slightly behind, and unfortunately that doesn't bode well for the German player. And if we look at units in queue here, especially with this fight now going on, this fight really matters, and unfortunately for Hazza, all his strats are at the front, so this is definitely almost certainly a good fight for the German player here. But he's getting pushed and pushed back to his coal mine, and this isn't what he wants to do, really. He doesn't want to get pushed back, and that coin mine is a lifeline of his. And he's losing even more villagers, and at this point he's so far behind in villagers, he should probably just fight where he is, and he needs to, and he's going to use those villagers to tank, and honestly this is a really good fight for Hazza, and you can just look at the discrepancy between the two, and although he might win this fight because of the villagers being in it, there's only 18 left, and yeah, this can't be good. Losing even more villagers, 15 left. Yeah, both lost at roughly equal, but if we look at units lost, 19 villagers and 6 settler wagons lost for Kaiser, and that's Kaiser losing a series, unfortunately. 4-2.